VP of Student Life Melissa Shivers gives us her take on the suspension of 9 fraternities and more.
And later, we'll take you inside an on-campus outreach lab to increase student health.
I'll tell you more about one freshman basketball player to look out for this season.
We might just have entered into November, but could the weather feel like December? Stay tuned for more.
All that more coming up on this Monday, November 5th edition of DITV.
Don't go anywhere, DITV starts right now.
Good morning and thanks for tuning in to this live Monday edition of DITV. I'm Cindy Zetz alongside Lauren Varel.
Good morning, Sydney. Well, this morning we begin with an exclusive interview with VP of Student Life, Melissa Shivers. The location of Student Disability Services has raised concerns among students and staff, sparking a conversation about how this and other services can become more accessible.
So we started working a little bit on increasing and enhancing the signage of the space, while at the same time I was continuing to hear from students that there were a lot of concerns about its location. And quite frankly, those are concerns that I also share. And because of that, I created 2 sort of work groups. One work group is looking at the Iowa Memorial Union and how do we make sure that we are programming that space so that it is, again, continues to be in alignment with our focus on student development and community engagement. But at the same time, we need to look at sort of those university counseling services, student health and wellness, and student disability services, because my dream is to try to have a co-located facility where all 3 of those units are a part of one space that would be in a centralized location on campus, one that would be both visible but more importantly accessible to all students.
Shivers also voiced her thoughts on the recent decisions regarding fraternity and sorority life.
The University of Iowa deeply values what the fraternity and sorority experience can be on a college campus. And so while certainly not a decision that everyone has been excited about, I also believe that the health and safety of our students has to be my priority. This interim suspension has provided us an opportunity to not only learn more about the violations, but in an interesting sort of way, it's created an opportunity for us to open doors of communication with the fraternity and sorority system.
Shivers said she plans to take the time to meet with fraternity and sororities one-on-one to hopefully build a better relationship between them and the UI.
Despite talking about some negative topics, Shivers also wanted to recognize UI students and faculty for their successes they have achieved this semester.
I also want to talk about the successes and the resiliency that I have seen from our campus community, our student community, even our faculty and staff community, in beginning to really start to rally around and coalesce around the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so the fact that we're moving in that direction in a really intentional way starts at the top with our president. And it trickles down to all of us. And I'm fortunate that throughout this challenging semester, I've also been surrounded by and encouraged by this campus community.
Be sure to head to dailyiowan.com for more on Shivers' exclusive interview with the Daily Iowan.
Well, as Election Day gets closer, check out the Daily Iowan's voter guide at dailyiowan.com.
There you'll find information on each candidate and their views on specific issues. You'll also find complete details on when and where to vote. Stick with DITV and the Daily Iowan this week as we bring you the latest updates as we near closer to Election Day.
Let's go ahead and toss it over to Samantha in the weather studio with more on this week.
Yeah, thanks guys. Well, we've had some gloomy past couple of days, and that is going to stick around for today's weather. There's a 90% chance of rain with a high temperature of 51 and a low of 39. Moving on to the extended forecast, Tuesday will be mostly sunny with high winds and a high at 49 degrees and a low of 32. Wednesday, the sun will be shining with a high only around 42 and a very cold low of 26. Then Thursday, there's a high of 38 and a low of 25 in the evening that is predicted to bring our first snowfall of the season. Friday, we'll have a mix of sunshine and clouds with a high around 35 and then dropping down into the low 20s. Well, I can't decide if I'm excited for the first snowfall or not, but we'll have to see what the week brings. Guys, back to you at the desk.
University of Iowa's very own Fieldhouse opened up an outreach lab for students seeking extra health guidance. DITV News reporter Kennedy Cook has more.
The University of Iowa's Fieldhouse is known to many as a workout destination, classroom, and in recent news, the Fieldhouse has opened a new outreach lab. The lab is a part of a larger initiative called Exercise is Medicine, which was introduced to the UI campus this summer. It was 2017 and calls for integrating physical activity into the healthcare setting.
And so I felt like we could create a space and an opportunity to meet both of those needs. And so that's what the Community Outreach Lab is meant to do. It's a space where health coaches, our student-trained health coaches, can provide health coaching services related to physical activity for patients who are referred here from the hospital.
The lab benefits clients and students alike. In addition to earning 3 credit hours for a pass-fail course, students learn valuable communication skills that can be applied to health coaching or other fields.
And so this is meant to be a space where they can apply their skills, instill a trained environment, and make mistakes if they need to make mistakes. But I think we just know that this is a really effective way of teaching and training students, and that's our primary goal.
Reporting from the Fieldhouse, Kennedy Cook, DITV News.
Lauren, a lot of students sure spend a lot of time at the Fieldhouse playing other sports, but I'm sure head coach Kirk Ferentz is going to make his football team practice a little bit harder this next week.
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed after this weekend's game. Let's go ahead and toss it over to Taylor Van Fleet in the sports studio with a recap on that game.
I was a little disappointed as well, ladies, and the football team was on the road again this weekend when they hit the road to face Purdue in a West Division matchup. Purdue took the early lead with this 36-yard long touchdown pass from David Blau to Isaac Zico to put the Boilers up by 7. Iowa responded with a 2-yard touchdown run from Ivory Kelly Martin to tie it up, but the Boilermakers found the end zone 2 more times in the second quarter. Iowa would battle back to take the lead in the fourth quarter with 2 touchdown runs from Mekhi Sargent. But that would not be enough as Purdue hit a game-winning field goal to take this one 38-36.
We fought back. We were down, I don't know, by 12 or something there at the beginning of the fourth quarter. And I think guys just kept fighting for each other. Whether it's offense, defense, guys just keep coming to the sideline and saying, hey, we got you guys. We're going to get a stop or we're going to go down and score. We're just going to keep fighting and keep grinding. And we gave ourselves a chance at the end. We just came up short again.
Yeah, I mean, it's never easy. We work our butts off and, we put everything into this. And then to come away with the loss is tough to swallow. But, I mean, just like any other week, we're just going to have to 24 hours. We're going to look at it tomorrow, figure out what we need to improve, and then we'll just be back at it, and we got to prepare for next week.
It was a tough loss for the Hawkeyes in West Lafayette on Saturday, and the defensive players took the loss even harder. But despite giving up 38 points to the Boilermakers, Amani Hooker actually had a pretty good game. DITV Sports Director Bo Bowman reports.
Possibly the best defensive back Iowa's seen since Desmond King and Josh Jackson. Despite Iowa's 38-36 loss to Purdue, Amani Hooker had just 5 tackles and 1 interception. His message to the rest of the team: move on.
Just because you get beat once, it's not the end of the world. You got to move on, and then just because you get beat once, you got to worry about it tomorrow. You can't worry about it right now because you got to finish the rest of the game off.
And that kind of approach is important to the team coming off a loss like this.
It's big. We got to fall back on our leadership, fall back on each other, and come together as a group. So I think we got a lot of guys like that on this team, and we just got to find a way to get better, clean up these mistakes, and move on to Northwestern.
But none of them lose sight to his leadership on the field.
Amani's a player that people should want to be like, mentality-wise, and he's just a beast. I mean, that's the only way you can put it. I mean, he's a beast.
And he's going to do everything he can to get the Hawks ready for the next week.
He's a guy he's not too vocal. He's more lead by example. But, he does things the right way. He prepares hard. He works hard. He's always in the film room. He's a guy, we trust he's going to do his job.
We're not going to just quit. I mean, that's not how we're built. I mean, we're built to keep pushing forward and keep moving forward and taking on new challenges, and we got new challenges in Northwestern.
And that'll be a tough challenge as Northwestern comes into Kinnick as the favorite to win the Big Ten West. From West Lafayette, Bo Bowman, DITV Sports.
In other Hawkeye sports news, Iowa men's basketball is almost officially back. The Hawks hosted Guilford College in an exhibition game yesterday afternoon. It was raining buckets inside Carver yesterday as the Hawks got off to a hot start and never cooled off. Iowa had 6 players score in double figures in this one, including an impressive debut by freshman Joe Wieskamp, who finished the game with a team-high 14 points. And Tyler Cook put on a show for Hawkeye fans. Check out this monster dunk by TC. He finished the game with 12 points. Iowa took this one easily with a final score of 103-46.
We have an unselfish team. A lot of different guys that can score, and I thought we worked.
I think we're pretty solid. Obviously, there's a lot of improvements that we can make. We had a lot of turnovers. Moving forward, we're going to be playing a lot stronger teams, and we know that. So we got to clean some things up.
Come Thursday, it won't be, a drill anymore. So, we're doing some good things. We're getting better, little by little every day. I think we'll get to where we want to be soon.
Seemed like a lot more communication.
And as I mentioned earlier, one freshman player, Joe Wieskamp, had an impressive debut yesterday against the Quakers. DITV Sports Director Lucy Rodin has more on freshman phenom Joe Wieskamp.
Freshman from Muscatine, Iowa, number 10, Joe Wieskamp.
The cheers at Carver Hawkeye Arena on Sunday were a little bit louder for freshman Joe Wieskamp, who made his Hawkeye basketball debut after coming in as one of the most prolific recruits in Fran McCaffrey's time at Iowa.
Did exactly as I expected him to do. He was aggressive when he needed to be. He moved it. He knows how to play, makes shots, makes plays. A guy led the state in scoring, leading scorer in history.
But Wieskamp chooses to ignore the expectations that stem from his success in high school.
I've said it before, I just kind of ignore those expectations. I'm just trying to get locked in and focus and just go out there and play my game.
And right before tip, you could hear the Iowa bench yell, "The Joe Wieskamp era starts now."
We've been excited to, watch him come and, do what he did out there, which is, excel. He's a great player. He's aggressive. Looks for a shot and he makes them. Wasn't surprised at all. Joe's doing great. He's performing well in practice. The more experience he gets, the better he'll be.
The new Wieskamp era will be put to the test when regular season play tips off on Thursday. Reporting from Carver Hawkeye Arena, this has been Lucy Rodin, DITV Sports.
Such an impressive performance by Wieskamp yesterday. But that's it for me in the sports studio. Come back tomorrow for a look at Luka Garza's return to the court after surgery. Sydney and Lauren, back to you.
Before we go today, as Election Day nears, we here at DITV want to keep you informed.
Starting tomorrow, we will be viewing the Johnson County and gubernatorial candidates and telling you where you can cast your ballot.
Then be sure to tune in Wednesday at 8:30, where we will have a complete coverage of the midterm election winners with reporters stationed in Iowa City and Des Moines.
For the last results and more, be sure to check out DailyIowan.com. And you're still unsure to vote, check out the voter guide also at DailyIowan.com. Thanks to you for tuning in. Have a great day.